What up, YouTube? You can't stop trading and investing with your boy James E. Monday, no over the weekend plays for me today. Was thinking about LTNC, that first green day I seen there, but didn't take it. Did have a slight gap up, but we'll get into that. But what I really want to get into is RGBP, that massive runner, and it's continuing to go on a massive run with huge volume. I want to get into that and how I capitalized on that. But before I do, man, please click that like button. Please subscribe. It is very much appreciated. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that likes to research and analyze anything I find interesting on the stock market. And I like to share that with anybody willing to listen. So that being said, let's just get right into it. So RGBP, it's continuing this massive run. Started on Thursday, and below a penny, got all the way up to 2 cents, then continued on Friday, got up to nearly 3 cents, and now we're tapping nearly 8. What a crazy runner. I believe it's cryptocurrency related, but let's just get into it. So I noticed this huge gap up in the morning, and I was able to capitalize a little bit. As you can see, made $311 profit. I took 3 trades overall. Realistically, it just didn't execute the way I wanted. My first trade I made on it, I bought on this dip right here. I bought it in here in this push. So bought it in this candle for this push over here. And I winded up making about $400 on it, a little over 400. I want to say like 401. Sold it, which was a beautiful profit. But then when it maintained above the high of day here, so, you know, because I sold it in this candle, and then when it was still holding, it kept popping and then popped up here. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to buy back into it, which it bit me in the ass. These things, well, not really. I mean, I wound up taking like a $90 loss on it, so nothing big deal. I cut my loss on it. But I originally wanted 400,000 shares. So the way I looked at it is just depending, because we had this pop, we're already up, but we're way overextended. All right, so when the thing's super overextended, I don't really like going heavy size in something this overextended unless it drops dramatically, unless we have some kind of dramatic drop. We didn't get that, so we had this drop here. So when this happened, I tried to buy 200,000 shares, excuse me. I tried to buy 200,000 shares, and it blew past my order. We were getting heavy on the bid size, and it just kept jumping my order. So I kept having to cancel, buy again, cancel, buy again, cancel, buy again, until it finally executed me. The way I wanted to do it, I originally wanted 400,000 shares. So I wanted to buy 200,000 shares at a time, just in case I caught a bad entry. So, you know, I tried to buy it in here, but it just wasn't working, kept going. And then eventually I got in here. You know, I tried to buy in this candle originally, blew past my order. Tried to buy it a couple times, just kept blowing past it. And then by the third time, it finally executed my 200,000 shares. And then I almost bought some more right here on this dip here, but I was like, it might dip lower. So I held off not buying another 200,000, and then boom, it shot up. And at that point, I was up about $400 profit, which was probably about 6% of my position. So I just took it, because it's right there within my range of what I like to take. And again, it's overextended. So I don't really like going for those, you know, 10%, 12%. If I breach the gap of 6, because usually if you watch my videos, you'll know I like taking 6 to 10% profit. So anytime I'm overextended and I could get up to 5 or 6% profit, I usually just take it, because you never know when you're going to have a nice drop. Even though on the bid and ask things look good, you know, it was just fluctuating a lot. And so, you know, and then as you can see, look, it did wind up dropping off back to the 3/8. So I wound up buying 200,000 shares, sold it for a $400 profit, repurchased it here at the break of the high, thinking we was going to get a nice squeeze. And then it just, as soon as this candle came in, I seen the weakness, so I just sold it. And actually, I tried to sell it when I was up about $100 profit, because I noticed the weakness. And then when I just hit sell the market, it was already down to maybe about $70 profit, and it just wasn't executing my order. And then it dropped down, you know, just slightly below where I purchased it. So it gave me about a $90 loss on that. And then because I only had 3-day trades. And then I tried purchasing it in this account. I had 2 trades in that account, 1 trade in this account. My account that I surpassed the 25K to be past the PDT rule, I dipped below it. I'm about $10 below the PDT rule. I was tempted to buy it there because with the thought process that, okay, if I buy this and I profit, I'm going to be back over the PDT rule. But I just didn't want to risk getting locked out of my account. So no big deal. And then same thing here. Same exact thing. I tried to repurchase this thing on this bounce, and then I just said, nah, I didn't like it because it looked like it was holding a good trend. So I wanted to buy it right here in this green candle. But once this candle came in, I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm just going to sell it. It just looked weak on the level 2. So overall, winded up with just a little bit less than $300 profit. And this thing winded up being a beauty. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay and watch it. I had a doctor's appointment to go to, so I just couldn't stay and watch it. But this thing is beautiful. And the beautiful thing about this is the fact that this is going to eventually drop. Look at this huge overextension. So this is going to be beautiful for maybe a week or 2 because I'm definitely going to be buying the bounces. Look at this huge squeeze here, then a drop, and then a pop. It's going to be doing that. So I'm very excited about this. RGBP is definitely going to be on my watch for the weeks to come. And I could see me capitalizing a lot on it. Now, the other one I want to talk about was LTNC. We did have the first green day gap up, as you can see here. Went from almost 7 cents to about, 7.3, almost 7.4. So nothing really too big of a gap up. Could I have capitalized on it? Yeah, but with the size, who knows how much I would have really made profit. It wouldn't have been that big. It would have been probably like a 3% profit or so. And so I just didn't even want to take the risk because with the size that I trade, it typically will drop off. Even though I could have probably got a good size where I could have made $300 or $400 on this and been fine with it. Maybe 100,000 shares and could have made about 300 or 400. Maybe even more. Maybe if I'd have bought 200,000 shares, which would have still been very small position for me. And I could have probably made some good money on it. But I just wasn't too enticed by it. Did wind up gapping up, but again, it just wasn't something I was too interested in. Could I have capitalized on it? Yes, I could have. But who knows? And it actually maintained this candle, but it did have a drop off. So, it's kind of hard to determine whether or not my shares would have been executed or not at something reasonable where I'd have been comfortable with, because it could have potentially hitting a sell the market. I could have potentially got executed down here, which would have still been profitable if I'd have bought it right at the close. But very, very small. But so I don't regret not taking that. I talked about this in the previous video. If you haven't watched it, please go and do so. That was something I was definitely considering taking, but it was just not, it just didn't drop enough for me to feel like it had a good gap up potential. Even though it did gap up and I could have definitely profited on it. It would have been a small profit, maybe 2 or 3% profit. But the big one is definitely RGBP. So that's definitely going to stay on my watch for quite some time. Starting off my week with a little under $300 profit, and I'm cool with that, man. 3-day trades I used to make it. I could have, been a little bit more patient. Could have took my 400 and just waited patiently to see what was going to happen. And who knows, I might have been able to capture some of this. But again, too overextended for me personally to feel comfortable buying them as they keep going, especially something like this. This gets me really uncomfortable. Like, I was watching it up to here, and then when this popped, because I had to leave, I had to leave about 9 o'clock for a doctor's appointment. So I left somewhere in this area, so I was already seeing it grinding up. And that's typically what you'll see if you see this bullish flag pattern. It's a little bull flag and then pop. We usually get a pop, but too overextended for me personally. And now that it's getting way overextended, this gets me excited for the next few days of the week because I could definitely capitalize on dip buy opportunities. And obviously we're seeing gap up potentials, gapped up here and a gap up here. So I want to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Is it going to give another gap up and then maybe a drop off? and then maybe a gap up after that. I don't know, but it's heavy in volume. If we want to take a look at the volume, this is the kind of volume I'm talking about. 1.5 billion shares traded. Volume down here, 1.473. So that's the kind of volume I like. That's the kind of thing I could go all in, put 50K in, no problem, and exit with a profit. So definitely looking forward to this. Definitely see some profits coming in the future with this one. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my analysis. Again, if you made it this far, please click that like button. Please subscribe. You can't stop Mafia. It's a mindset movement, meaning never stop yourself, never stop your progress, never stop your education, especially in finance. Having multiple streams of income is an amazing thing, and the stock market is a place where you can do that. So LTNC did gap up off the first green day. Could have profited on it, maybe about 3%, but just didn't feel too enticing to me. And then RGBP, a massive runner, up nearly over 700% in the last 3 days. And I look forward to buying the bounces. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I'll be sure to keep you updated as much as possible. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.